down with your bad self and brothers, getting funky. She's dancing. Look at her doing the white man's over by.
No, I'm doing the goldfish.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, goldfish. Said goldfish. Because I have the memory of a goldfish, I don't even remember what we were just doing.
Dancing.
I'm
Thanks,
dancing.
Max and Sally, for this dance party moment.
This dance party moment, and brothers doing the goldfish. Was that part of the Aunt Patty School of Dance?
No, I just made that up, Jenny. Just made it up like that.
You know what? You're gifted. Just like so. For those of you that don't know us, we are the Brother Sisters. I am Janice Brothers. With me is my sister
And brothers.
and we are graduates of the Aunt Patty School of Dance.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Our Aunt Patty, when we were kids, we would go over to her house because she only lived a few blocks away from us, and she would put on her records from like the 60s, and then we would do Aunt Patty's School of Dance.
Mm-hmm.
So we were
Think of
very
the
good at.
Shirley Feeney scarf dance on Laverne and Shirley.
Yes.
If you're a Gen Xer,
Yes.
you'll know exactly what I mean.
Yeah. So we are both, and Ann and I are actually both dancers. I had, Ann had like 12 years of ballet.
As you
And
can see.
had, yes, obviously. And I had 3 years of ballet. And Ann, we are both, I think we should both try out for the next Olympics in breakdancing, obviously.
Obviously, because anybody can. Now that I know
Actually,
a rando can make a team, I'm like, yeah, that's me next.
I'm actually super disappointed that they're not going to have breakdancing in the 2028 Olympics.
No.
And I'm like, well, I guess my shot at being an Olympic rando is over.
It's over. It's over. You're going to have to be rando in something else. I'm not quite sure what.
Well, I still like the idea that you had, Anna, is that it's like a lottery. So you get picked, and then you don't know what you get picked, and you get outfitted, and you get to go to the Olympics. But it's not until you get to the Olympics that you know what you're going to compete in. So then there's no practicing, there's no nothing. So for all I know, I could end up being you and I could end up being in synchronized diving, which would be hilarious.
That would be belly flapping, but not even at the same time.
I know, it's like synchronized cannonball. Let's go.
Ooh. I'd have to wear a life vest. I'm not a confident.
That would be the best part. When you and I would both show up in our like entire, coverage of the body swimming suit, our old lady 1930s swimming suits, and with life vests or some sort of inflatable and nose plugs and some goggles, because I don't like the chlorine to get into my eyes.
Exactly. I really don't like my face to get wet, so.
Can't get my face wet. Yeah. So anyway, that's okay. And I'm actually going to talk about the Olympics as part of our summer review. That's right, you guys. It is September 1st, so today is actually meteorological fall. So according to meteorologists, as far as they're concerned, it's fall. Did your light go off?
No, the sun went behind a cloud.
Okay, because you got all dark all of a sudden.
I know. I got all.
Yeah. So theoretically, even though like seasonal summer is not over until September 20th or 21st. I don't know. I actually don't know when the equinox is this year. What kind of science teacher am I? Yeah. But at least we know that meteorological fall starts today. So today is our summer in review. That's right. Our summer review, which is very exciting. I think we didn't do it. This is our first ever summer review. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a big deal. I know. I'm going to put it on the stage. There it is. Yeah. Super summer review. It's completely and totally awesome. Yeah. It's funny because I didn't have what by many standards would be considered like a super like sexy summer, but I was busy all summer. I was busy. I had stuff all summer, so it was fun. So, and you want to introduce us to our audience?
Sure. We're Ann and Janice Brothers. Our last name is Brothers, and we are our sisters. So easy peasy lemon squeezy.
I feel like I have to address this real quick. Apparently, we're famous, but we don't know we're famous because apparently the new season of Murderers in the Building, Only Murders in the Building, has some directors in it called the Brother Sisters. So we are inadvertently famous, Ann.
Excellent.
I know, right?
I hope when people Google us, our stuff comes up first.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So.
All right. So we're in our 50s, which makes us Generation X, which I did mention a little bit earlier. That also means that the number of children in a car was not based on the number of seat belts or even the number of seats in said car, but how many children would fit into the car and the doors would still close. So that's where, child safety was not a
Secondary.
forefront. So it's like, hey, all these kids, we're going to take all these kids to Cedar Point. How many cars do we need? One, because, you can get 4 kids on the floor.
And this was pre-minivan era. So this was like
Yeah.
you had a big ass Chevy or you had a big ass station wagon and you crammed all them kids in there and good luck. It
And
was
good luck.
a
Yeah.
little bit Lord of the Flies in that back seat because you didn't
Cool.
even ask to sit in the front seat. The front seat was for the adults. The back seat was
Exactly.
for, and it was like, every man for himself back there. That's all I know. Like,
Yeah, exactly. So it was definitely, there was many a times where it could be a 5-minute drive or a 5-hour drive when you were crammed in, and some kid was always gonna just about ready to vomit because they got car sick. Sometimes that was me, but
that was Anne. Yeah.
yeah. So if you're Gen X, you were crammed somewhere into a corner of a car at one point in your life with another 15 other children that were probably your cousins. All right.
Very likely. Yes.
So we talk about smart stuff, dumb stuff, fun stuff, or any combination of the three. And we're not cool, hip, or sexy because we love fruit wine. And I'm
Wow.
not talking grape wine. I'm talking the other fruits. Moira Rose,
Grab
peachification,
a apple.
apple.
Grab a apple.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you, Moira Rose. Thank you, watermelon wine. Mm.
Oh, yeah. Amy Smola, that's for you because Amy was visiting me a few weeks ago and we went to St. Julian's Winery over in Paw Paw. And they have embraced their fruit wineness. I
Hmm.
mean, they have gone hard into the fruit wine. Like they have like a whole line of like punch wine now. Uh Totally a thing. But Amy was super excited because they had their watermelon wine on sale for $4.99. So Amy bought it untested. She just dove right in and bought that $4.99 bottle of watermelon wine. Gonna have to get a review from her when we get that opportunity. So
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. Because fruit wine. Because you know what? You can always throw a bunch of club soda in it and have a spritzer. Lots of ice
It also
cubes.
makes fruit wine also makes excellent sangria. So like you
Hmm.
don't have to do anything to it. Throw it in a glass over ice and throws a bunch of fruit in it and you have sangria.
Olay.
This is why the Spanish hate us.
This is why the Spanish hate us and why Jenny and I are not cool, hip, or sexy. All
No,
right.
because we
So,
love the peachification process. So there you
exactly.
go.
We're not a celebrity influencer or true crime podcast. We are the assorted dozen donuts of podcasts. There will
Oh
be at
yes.
least 3 you really like. And how bad can any of them be? Because they're donuts, right?
Yes. And I feel like we are the Boston cream donut of that box of donuts, which is the best donut, in
Oh,
my
you see,
opinion.
I would disagree with you. When I was young, I liked a raised donut, but now that I'm older, I like a cake donut, like a cinnamon and sugar or a
Mm,
pumpkin donut. So, I'm not big into filled donuts, but again, if it was in the box and the last one, I would eat it because in the end,
truth.
it's still a donut. So,
Now
yeah,
you got me thinking about the world's best donuts in Grand Marais, Minnesota, and
yeah,
their cinnamon and sugar donut, which I think I might actually give a kidney for. That's a good
yeah.
donut.
See,
It really
see, so
is.
we're
Yeah.
like donuts. Maybe
Yeah.
not every show is your favorite, but they're all pretty good. So there you go.
Mm.
All
Okay,
right.
that's cool.
So we're great to listen to when you want to learn things about stuff and you need a break from
Yes.
all this summer fun, like cleaning your pool. You're like, or maybe while you're
Yes.
cleaning your pool, you can
Yes.
listen to us because that's kind of a
Uh,
thankless job.
it is. Terry Clark, that's a shout out to you because Terry Clark, who I work with, was cleaning her pool and stepped into her filter thing that was open and yeah, broke stuff. And I
Oh,
don't think she broke her. She might have broken her foot. So yeah, but she didn't die,
uh,
so that's good.
that's
So, and
good.
as I
That's
told her, I'm like, that's the exact reason right there that I don't have a pool.
exactly. It's like even if I don't end up drowning in it, it's going to hurt me some way. It's just going to
Some way,
hurt
shape,
me.
or form.
Yeah.
Totally.
All
Yeah.
right. So this podcast is not G, PG, or even PG-13 because we're going to talk about all the cool fucking stuff we did this summer.
We did.
Yeah.
We're gonna say things like fuck, like
Hmm.
Ann did.
Like I
So
just did. So there you go.
all right. Speaking of pools, we have Liz Collins Williams with us. Yep. And Ann spent a large amount, well, I would say a large amount of time, but a decent amount of time in your pool this summer.
Yeah,
So,
it was only one day, and I keep thinking back to it because it was so fun. I was like, look at me, I'm in a pool eating pizza and watching TV at the same time. I'm literally
mm,
living my best 9-year-old self life. I have 9-year-old
awesome.
self. If I could go back into the past, 9-year-old self, you did it. You did it.
You spent time in the pool. We have Lisa Sammer with us. Lisa Sammer, what's up, lady? So
So glad.
glad to hear from you.
Our
I saw
sister from another mister.
sister from another mister. Yes, Lisa Samra. Lisa, you changed your profile picture or something. It was on the internet, on Facebook, and you look awesome, girl. You look amazing. You're just awesome.
Exactly.
We're
Yeah.
glad you're with us.
Me
Yay.
too.
So
Me
that's,
too.
yes,
So
correct.
join us on our website, Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. And you can like us and follow us and hit the bell and leave us a review, or you can join us live and leave a comment. Give us your feedback with our questions and answers and our polls. And you can ask Alexa to play us, and she'll do it because she's a lady. And ladies are there to help.
You can ring my bell, ring
Ring
my
my
bell,
bell, ding dong.
my
Da-da-da. Sorry,
ring.
we're
The
probably going to
problem
get
right now, the problem, Anne, is that I'm in the middle of an old fashioned and you're in the middle of an Aperol spritzer, so
okay.
there's gonna be some singing today, okay?
Exactly. This show is just going to get funner and funner. Is
It's
funner
because
a word?
I don't have to go to work tomorrow, so I'm
Mhm.
imbibing a little bit tonight. Let's
Mhm.
go, let's go. Yeah, all right. Sorry, my
Mhm.
bad. That's right. You can follow us, like, and subscribe. We're on all the big boys, you guys. We are on
Mhm.
Spotify. We are on YouTube. We are on Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. Alexa's our bitch.
She is. She is. Or we're her bitch. It's
We're
probably
her
we're
bitch.
her
Yeah,
bitch.
honestly, yeah. As much as I tell her to remind me of stuff, I'm totally her bitch. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Mhm.
So I can't do anything without her anymore
No.
because, you know, what are you gonna do though? Nothing.
Mm-mm.
That is correct. All right, smart, dumb, fun stuff, and we are gonna start with you.
Okay, so I did dumb. This was a dumb. The thing I was doing was not dumb. I was at my friend Annette's house, weeding her gardens for her. She's recovering remarkably from a major surgery, but she still can't quite bend over to get weeds and stuff out of her garden bed. So I spent a couple hours there, and the way I garden is that I work for an hour and then I take a break. And I didn't want Annette to think that I was slacking off, so I was like trying to take a short break, and then they have this gnome that looks like a zombie. So I took this great picture of me getting attacked by the zombie gnome, because I was left to my own devices. And this is what happens when you let me into your house unsupervised. I act dumb.
She gonna do your stuff. Nice. I don't know, Anna. I think that's both smart and fun right there because
Mhm,
and you know what? You were doing something super nice for your friend. So high five. And Annette is awesome. So
mhm,
so yeah, well done.
mhm. So,
I got a new shower. That's right. I know. So I learned things. I'm going to call this smart
mhm.
because I didn't learn how to put in my own shower because that's a shit show waiting to happen. But I learned how to hire somebody to fix my shower, and then I learned about, like, hey, you're gonna need this insert, and you're gonna need this stuff, and don't forget the drain thing, and this cover, and don't forget the valve, and make sure the valve is this compatible and stuff like that. And then when they fuck up your order, then you got to go in to Menards and full cred to Menards. They were very easy to work with, so um so far, thumbs up to Menards and our so we hired a contractor and Bill Lapham, this is for you. Shout out to you because you recommended Greg Sekenga to me. And Greg is a retired teacher and he does, I don't know if but just a cool dude. And so thank you for doing an amazing job and we're gonna do more stuff together. That's all I know.
Mhm.
So that was really cool, and it looks nice. So we basically had a tub insert in there, and so the tub insert came out, and the walk-in shower with a sliding frosted glass door came in. It looks really nice. It's
It does.
neat.
It does.
So
It
I
looks
learned how to do that, and I'm gonna have to learn how to do other stuff like that because we've got a basement remodel coming, which is bigger and nastier. But this was a good first step. So
there you go.
I planned something, and then it happened.
Good job, Jenny
So
Brothers. Good job.
thanks. I know I'm patting myself on the back. You know, the other thing I wanted to talk about is this, Sam. I wanted to reflect real quick on the dumb conversation we had yesterday about Kenny Rogers's The Gambler. So,
Oh, yeah. Jenny and I
yeah,
were sitting on her porch at 7 in the morning, listening to one of her neighbors play The Gambler. And they usually have pretty good music that they're playing. And I was like, is this The Gambler? And
I
please
just want to point
continue,
something
Jenny.
out. I just want to point out that I live in North Side in Kalamazoo, which is a predominantly black neighborhood. And the neighbors on the corner, they are a multi-generational black family that lives in that house, and they often play, great music. I mean,
Mhm,
they grew up on the '70s tunes, the R&B from the '70s, and soul music from the
mhm.
'70s, which I genuinely love.
Me too.
And so, they were playing. It was like early morning yesterday. We had actually come back from the farmers market. We went over to the Kalamazoo farmers market about 7 o'clock, and then we got back and we went over to Victorian Bakery and got treats. And we were eating our delicious almond croissants on our porch. And they were, they had the tunes going. And something told me that they were still up from all night. And all of a sudden, Anne's like, "Is that the Gambler?" I'm like, "No." And I'm like, "Sure enough, man, that's Kenny Rogers, the Gambler, coming from that house."
Yeah.
So then I'm like, you know what though? It really makes sense to me that because the Gambler is. Oh, wait, hang on. Liz Collins says often sneak Kenny Rogers Barry Mello on Spotify when my hubby's in the shower. There you go.
Nice.
But you know what? Kenny Rogers is right. And this is universal. You got to know when to hold them, when to fold them. Got to know when to walk away, and know when to run.
Exactly. It's cross generation, cross all
Cross
boundaries,
cultural.
cross cultural.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Um,
Yep.
you
So
know,
yeah.
it's a straightforward advice that sometimes is very difficult to
Yes. Kenny
to actually.
Rogers
Mhm,
bringing people together. Yes.
exactly. Mhm, yeah.
Now, all I know is that I'm gonna go live there if they start playing Islands in the Stream. If Islands from the Stream starts coming from that house, I'm gonna be like pulling up my lawn chair and be like, "Let's go." I'm
Let's go.
gonna find some weed, bring it. We go get Cupid's some 40 or something. Cupid's what he is the paterfamilias over there.
Mhm.
And Cupid is he has the coolest bike ever.
Oh
And
my gosh.
that people know that family and don't fuck with that family because he can leave that bike out in his front yard 24/7 and no one fucking touches it
Exactly. And
ever.
Kalamazoo, every fifth bike in Kalamazoo is not stolen.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So the fact that he can put his bike out there and just let it sit there 24/7 and nobody touches it. I'm like, people know
Mhm.
Cupid. Nobody fucks with Cupid.
And it's an awesome bike. It's one of those cruiser bikes. Oh, it's so cool.
It's nice. But
Mhm.
you'll see Cupid leave it, he'll go and he'll come back with his little paper bag in his hand. You'll see him leave and then he'll come back 10 minutes later with his paper bags. There's like a little store down the way that sells liquor. So, I'm like, I know what's in that
Yeah.
bag, Cupid. It's
Mhm.
probably something good.
I know, exactly.
So
Cocktail.
yeah, so
Cocktail
if
time
Islands
and
of the
more.
Stream starts streaming from that house, I'm going over there, bringing
Mhm.
Cupid a 40. I'm gonna sit down and listen. So anyway,
Exactly.
yeah, that's the smart, dumb, fun stuff that is happening with the brothers sisters. All right, let's talk the best and worst of the summer of 2024. And if you're with us, if you're watching, feel free to chime in here. We will
Mhm.
absolutely post your stuff as well
Mhm.
because it just makes it more fun for the whole family. So there you
Exactly.
go. All right.
Exactly.
So let's start with entertainment. And if you don't mind, I'm gonna lead the way, and I will let you follow up on these. Is that
Of
okay?
course. No, I put
All
myself
right.
second because there you go.
Okay. So my follow is I finally got around to watching Ted Lasso. That was big for me. And right now my husband is in Wisconsin, just finishing Ted Lasso. And I got to tell you, as far as great shows go, I get it. I get why people love the show. 100%.
Mhm.
So, season 3 of Hacks was outstanding. Maybe one of the best seasons yet. It's hard to say. All 3 seasons are so incredibly good.
Mhm.
Loved it. Alien Romulus was surprisingly entertaining. I was
Mhm.
surprised, but I really do not enjoy going to movies. I don't enjoy it at all. But I actually went to 2 movies this summer. I went and saw Twisters. I'll talk about that. And then I went and saw Alien Romulus, both at the KP Cinema in Kalamazoo, which I don't think is gonna be around there in 6 months, but what do I know?
Cross your
Uh,
fingers.
correct. Twisters was not great, and I'll talk about that in my things that sucked this summer. But what was great was that this movie was long overdue, and I got to go hang out with my sister and Chip and Kim and go see this movie. And what was fun was that we were like one of only 5 or 6 people in the entire theater. And so we basically talked through the whole thing because the other people were way down the front where they couldn't, and we
Mhm.
were way in the back where nobody could hear us. So we had a ball. It was great.
Yeah, it was super fun.
Um, I got to see my first demolition derby, which was great because A, watching minibands smash into each other is a blast, and B, the people watching is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, ridiculous. So if you have a
I need a
chance,
pink cowboy hat. Pink
you
cowboy hat. I need a
yeah,
pink
you
cowboy
absolutely. Yes, you need a pink cowboy hat and you need some very short shorts and you need a pleated short skirt, Anne.
hat.
Yes,
Yes, I do.
you do. And you need some more tattoos. So
Mm,
there you go. You don't have nearly
yeah.
enough tattoos.
Who
Okay.
does?
People watching at Toby's Supper Club in Madison, Wisconsin. Toby's Supper Club is this hidden jewel in Wisconsin. It is kind of tucked away in this little backwater place, just outside of Madison. It's my go-to place. I stop in Madison even when I don't need to, just spend the night, just because I love going to Toby's Supper Club. And there's a hotel, there's a sleep in that's a half a mile from Toby's. They make amazing old fashions, and the people watching is amazing because it's this great place that's all shapes and sizes and colors and attitudes and everything. And I absolutely love going there. And I got super lucky when I went there in July when I was on my way to see Joe because I got a seat at the bar right away, and I just was smashed in between these people that were just so much fun. So I got into a lengthy conversation with this gentleman about his drink that he was drinking a Manhattan with olives in it, and I'm like, interesting choice. So
Oh,
there you go.
sweet and salty.
Sweet and salty. That's all I know. Seeing Wicked in Grand Rapids was amazing. Lynn Brand, thank you again for the tickets for that.
Mhm.
Now I know. I get it now.
I
I
get it.
get it. And I'm actually really looking forward to seeing the movie. The movie comes out in November.
Mhm.
Gonna absolutely go into a theater and see that because that's a visual spectacle that needs to be
Right.
seen on the big screen.
Mhm.
And I fucking love the Olympics. I love it so much. And so I was just, couldn't wait for the Olympics, and it did not disappoint. It never does. And then my favorite part was watching the breakdancing. And the thing that makes me nuts about the breakdancing is that, and I'll talk about her at the end when I'm talking about the stuff that sucked. The one Australian breakdancing chick, but there were some amazing breakdancers, and if you watch the whole competition, it was what these people are doing is physically incredible. Love that, and I love the fact that the United States women's national team, which is my favorite team of all time, of any team at any sport, it's that team. Um, Watching them win the gold medal was amazing. Emma Hayes is the new coach for the uh, United States women's national team, and what she pulled off was incredible. She had only been coaching that team since May
Mm.
and turned them around. They had a huge, massive disappointment in last summer's World Cup. Everybody was talking basically it was the end of the world for United States women's soccer team, which had been so dominant for so long. And the fact that she brought them back to win Olympic gold is pretty much it's awesome. Jean and Ruth, yay, Jean! I worked with Jean at Forest Lake Area Middle School. Yes, Jean, you do want to see Wicked,
Mhm.
and looking forward to that in November for sure. So anyway, that's the stuff as far as entertainment that I loved this summer. Anne, are you ready?
I'm ready. So, Quiet Place Day One, the third in the Quiet Place series. The first two movies are great. It's even if you're not into horror movies, just the dread that you feel literally within the first few seconds and never lets up is wonderful. It's so great. But then this third movie, if you are familiar with the Quiet Places, and you have to be quiet. So the third movie takes place in New York. It's day one and takes place in New York because the first two movies take place at like day 450 or day 451, or it's way into this, so over a year into this. So this is day one, New York City. New York City is not a quiet place. Um,
Yeah.
Man, the performances in this, the cinematography, oh man, I adored this movie. I can't wait till it starts streaming again. It was one of those movies where I wanted to turn around and sit back down and watch. I'm like, play this film for me again, please, right now.
think
So,
I think you can pay the $20 and see it on Amazon right now.
you know what? I
So I
will
think
probably do that because, oh,
okay.
man, I loved this movie so much. So yeah, so that was entertainment this summer that I loved. Demolition Derby. I introduced Jenny to it this year, but Duncan and I have been demolitioning derbying now for almost 10 years, and we usually go to the Chelsea Community Fair and go and see it. It's stupid fun. I mean, okay. So whenever I'm doing something stupid and I think, oh man, this is too stupid, I always think of the Closer I Am to Find song by the Indigo Girls. The one line about, the professor who never did marry or see a B grade movie. He was just too serious
Yes.
to do any of the fun stuff. I'm like, if you got to do stupid fun stuff sometimes because life is short, and Demolition Derby is one of those stupid fun things, and the people that participate in it work their butts off. So,
They do. They put a lot of time and money into getting these
mhm,
cars ready. And honestly, there's something, it's that primal thing in your brain that likes watching the sort of weird violence of this. It's like,
mhm,
yeah,
yeah.
it makes you feel very human. That's one of
Mhm.
the things I really like about it. I'm like, okay, I'm going back to my roots, y'all.
Exactly. Fun. Of course, seeing Wicked with Jenny in Grand Rapids. Again, Lynn Brand, thank you so much for the tickets. We would have never seen it if Lynn had said, you got to go see this. And then she bought us tickets. So it's spectacular. The music is beautiful. The performances were awesome. I'm like, talk about people who are kicking ass. I mean, there wasn't a weak performance in any of it. Everybody was working so hard. It was really a great production. So
And
I'm
the
really
thing is,
glad I got to see that.
I don't see a lot of professional productions. It's funny because as a teacher, I see a lot of middle school productions and I see a lot of high school productions. And so it really is, I would just call it just this really great pleasure to watch professionals that
Hmm.
are doing their thing at the highest level. And even though these people aren't like Hollywood stars or anything, these are people that are professional, they're polished, and it's
Mhm,
just really just I'm like, it's just special. I
mhm.
really love that. I don't get to see it. I don't treat myself to that as often as I think I should. So yeah.
Backyard Bird Chronicles. We got to see Amy Tan speak about this book in June, about her book, and I'm still reading it because I read one entry at a time so I can make it last. Kind of like the box of chocolates you get. You just eat one every day so you can make it last. So I just read one today that made me a little sad, and she doesn't spare anything. She's all about, if it hurts, you should hurt. Feeling hurt is okay. If it's happy, you should be happy. Feel your feels. So, and it was just, she was delightful and sharp and funny and so smart. And I was like, Amy Tan, would you be my friend, please?
Amy Tan, we still love you, and though we tried and probably very unprofessionally to get you to come on this show,
Uh-huh.
please come on our show,
Exactly.
please,
Please,
pretty
pretty please.
please.
We saw Predictor, which is a play
Oh, I
by
was gonna put that on
Jennifer
my
Blatter.
list. I forgot that one.
Yeah, we saw it at the Williamston Theater, and it was great. It's about the woman who invented the home pregnancy. Well, she didn't invent the home pregnancy test. What she did was that she made sure it was marketed and could so that women could have access to it. So she didn't invent a pregnancy test. She invented the way for it to be in our homes. So if you have ever used a home pregnancy test, you have to thank the woman who invented it. So yeah, so that was a great show. It was
Was
funny, and it made you mad, and it made you laugh. Um, well, it
makes
was
you
really
think,
great.
man. Makes you feel stuff. I love that. I
Makes you
love
feel
it.
stuff. Detroit Observatory Tour. So my friend Amy and I went to that. It's actually, the Detroit Observatory was built in Ann Arbor in 1854. So it had been closed for 40 years. I'd been, I knew about it for years once I started at Eastern in 1988, and I'd always wanted to go in there. And it was closed to the public and almost abandoned. And we did two abandoned place. I did two abandoned places this summer that have been refurbished, and it's amazing when that can happen. So this was
Yeah.
awesome that I got to do this, especially with my friend Amy. So that was great. Demolition Derby. I have Demolition Derby twice. I was so excited. I had
You
to write it
loved
down
it that
twice.
much.
Journey bead making. So I've been making journey beads through their volunteer program, and also just to improve my own skills. I made fish the other day. Maybe that was my inspiration. I made fish beads
Maybe.
the other day. So that went much more smoothly than a flower or slash sun bead, which went terribly.
Oh, and just real quick, if you're interested, the Journey Bead making program is done through Glass Art Kalamazoo, which is a glass making organization right here in Kalamazoo that has tons of classes and things you can do. So
Yeah.
good job, Glass Art Kalamazoo.
Yeah, I've talked about it a bunch of times because I'm just super excited. Now, today, this is what Jenny and I did today. We went to the Michigan Central Station and we did a tour. Basically, they have like in their big grand lobby, they have basically, it's a not only just a history of the building itself, but a history of Detroit. So we got to do that. They had an open house, it was free. Um, Jenny and I have been looking at this abandoned building since we were in college, since we were undergrads, and it has been abandoned. It was closed in 1988 and set unused, derelict, falling apart until 2018 when Ford, the car company, bought it and to refurbish to make it into their headquarters. So we got to do that today and talk about getting some feels, you know. So two
Totally.
buildings this summer that had been abandoned and left for junk that through luck and paperwork managed not to be destroyed. Both of these buildings were saved because somebody had the forethought to put them on the National Registry. That's
Yeah.
the only reason these two buildings did not end up being torn down so that we can appreciate them now. So if you are from Michigan and you ever saw the Detroit train station when it was a dilapidated mess, you need to make a pilgrimage and go see it now because it will, oh man, it will feel
It's
you just
incredible.
it fills you
It's
with so much
incredible.
hope. And this thing was, I mean, it is so much less expensive to build something new than it is to refurbish something old. Woof.
We're actually going to do a show on this in
Yeah,
the next couple of weeks,
exactly.
but it cost Ford $950 million to reconstruct this building. So they basically, um, yeah, they completely refurbished it from top to bottom. And it's when they built the central station in 1913, it cost them $3 million, which in adjusted money for 2024 is $100 million. So it would have cost them $100 million to build a replica of the central station right next to it, and it cost Ford $950 million to. They not only refurbished the central station, they refurbished the book depository next to it, and it basically built this massive campus.
Mhm.
It's fucking amazing.
It
I
is.
I still, and it just gave me so many happy feels.
Mhm.
And when we talk about it, we'll talk about the fact that it is sort of a, you hope it's a harbinger of things to come for Detroit.
Mhm.
It's one of the many cool things that's happening in Detroit. That's
Mhm.
um if you're consider, you know, and it's funny because there's a lot of people that have these misconceptions about Detroit, and there are some of those conceptions are still real. They still exist, but there's Detroit is trying. It's trying really hard, and it's literally taking itself back piece by piece.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's
Yeah,
fucking
so
awesome.
kudos to Ford
Yeah,
for doing that because they
yeah,
they
for
did
real.
not they took it on.
Yeah,
Alien Romulus, I was not going to see this. My sister Jenny suggested it, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? But I was not going to see this. I am a huge fan of the first and second movie. The second movie is like in my top 5 movies. That's how much Aliens. That's how much I appreciate that movie. So I was like, oh man, they're just gonna fuck it up, you know? And it was actually now it's probably my third favorite Alien movie now. It's never going
yeah.
to make my top 5, but
No,
it was exciting and it was scary and it had a lot of like nods and Easter eggs to the other movies, and I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see it again. So good job there because I was not.
was
I was thinking
skeptical.
I was skeptical.
Yeah,
I also saw the movie Sing Sing with my friend Annette. That was, you know, if you're not into, I love horror movies. I think horror movies, a well done horror movie is a mirror of our society. So it's not that I don't see anything other than horror movies, but usually when I go to a theater, I usually like to see horror movies in theaters. But anyway, my friend Annette was going to go see Sing Sing. This is about a specific man, and then the theater program that they have at the Sing Sing prison. It was a beautiful movie, and I can't recommend it highly enough. If it is not at least nominated for Best Picture of the Year, there is something wrong with the Academy. So, if you get a
the
chance, go see that.
Academy. Nice.
Mhm. Walking food tour of Hamtramck. We did this through the Detroit History Club, and I love. We've talked about Detroit History Club. We've interviewed Bailey,
Sisoy
yeah,
Moore.
thank you.
Got you.
Thank you, who's the founder of both the History Club and the Detroit History Tours. This was so fun to be able. I've always wanted to walk through Hamtramck. We got a chance to do it, eat some amazing food. Hamtramck is full of people from all over the world, and their food scene reflects it. And if you want to buy a bar, Hamtramck is the place to do it. They do not. You only have to like. They have literally a bar every like 6 blocks, or maybe it's every block. I don't
You
know.
get
It's
a liquor license.
ridiculous.
You get a liquor license.
Exactly.
Everybody gets a
And, and
liquor
Hamtramck
license.
has no limit on liquor licenses. If you can get the city, if you can get the state to give you a liquor license, you can open up a bar in Hamtramck. So
Let's go.
it's a fun place. The food was excellent. It was great. Mhm.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Hmm. So I would say that in terms of that, so there we go. That's you and I had a full summer of entertainment,
Mhm.
but you and I had sort of limited travel this year. It's so funny because we were kind of talking about this that when we were younger, when we were young, we did a I don't know 6 month tour of
Mhm.
America. Doing with Mobile Ed Productions, doing all kinds of, and then you and I traveled pretty heavily, like
Mhm.
through like 2000, I don't know, 15. And I think we might have worn ourselves out with travel because, as I get older, I really don't have the passion to travel like I used to. And I think part of it is that COVID sort of kicked the hell out of that because people are so nuts now when they travel. It's like anywhere you go becomes kind of a shit show. So I have found myself kind of keeping close to home or just going to some of my more favorite locations rather than traveling quite a bit. But my travel didn't take me very far this year. Like I said, I had a busy summer, but it wasn't necessarily travel filled. We went up to Traverse City to hang out with the Williams clan up there. And then, of course, we saw Amy Tan at the City Opera House there, which was a lovely venue. Went to Dresser, Wisconsin to see my husband, who is currently working there until, probably the end of October. And that's a nice trip. You get to take that, like I said, I stopped in Madison, got to go to Toby's Supper Club and see the sights and sounds of beautiful, scenic northwestern Wisconsin. And it really is lovely up there. Polk County, you're lovely. Went to Marquette twice. Once when I was driving home from Dresser, Wisconsin, because I decided to go up north and then down. So spent a couple nights in Marquette, and then I came down over the bridge and then through Michigan rather than traveling through Chicago. And I should have done that on my second trip, but I didn't, and I regret. Wait, hang on, my cat's yelling at me. What's the matter with you? Hey, come on. The cat's yelling at me like crazy. And then, of course, like I said, I didn't go very far this year, but last summer was such a shit show with having to go up and kept having to go up north and back down, up north and back down. That it was kind of a relief to just spend a lot of time here and live in my house and work on my yard a little bit and just enjoy a summer. It was nice. It was
Exactly.
nice. So yeah, and I would say Marquette's one of my favorite destinations anyway. So the fact that I got to go there twice this summer was pretty toit. So I loved that. All right.
So I didn't go very many places either. And my main reason is that I'm a big gardener. Duncan and I bought this house that we live in. We bought it 9 years ago. And from day one, I mean, I bought a sunny piece of property with a house on it. And my intention was to have this big garden. And that's what I built. And so that's what I like to do in the summer. I want to be home in my garden with my chickens doing garden stuff. Plus, I prefer to travel off season, in the late spring, early to late fall. That's when I really like to travel because there's a lot fewer people around and my garden's done, or I haven't really, gotten into it yet. So that's in the summer, I really just want to stay home and enjoy. I love summer in Michigan. And I just want to stay home and enjoy it. I don't feel
Yeah.
like driving around. And for years, like Jenny said, we did this tour for 6 months, and then we were both teachers, so we would leave for 3 to 6 weeks at a time in the summer and just drive all over the place. And now I just want to be home in my garden with my chickens doing my stuff. So I did get a chance to go to Traverse City a couple times. My in-laws live up there. Jenny and I went up there to see Amy Tan. Duncan and I went up there in August together to see his family and hang out in in-laws pool. We went to Marquette, Jenny and I did, so we could do some light hunting in the Upper Peninsula. Duncan and I are going back to Marquette in this month in September because we rented a house for a few days. I'm really looking forward to that because all I really want to do is look at the water for a few days. So that's
It's nice.
go hiking, look at water, sleep in,
Eat
eat
some
too much.
seafood. Eat grit cakes and seafood bisque from Lagniappe.
Yeah,
Sorry,
exactly.
I got
Exactly.
yeah.
So I was not a big vacation person. But what I did, I enjoyed, and it gave me plenty of time to do what I love to do, which is hang out in my yard and battle rabbits and groundhogs to save my produce.
Just had this image of you with like a whole, like Braveheart get up when you have the blue face and your broadsword in your side and you're like, freedom as
No.
you're, hacking away at
Yeah,
rabbits and stuff. Yeah, okay.
yeah, yeah. Well, they're winning, so I'm the English
Yeah.
in that case because they're winning.
Uh the problem is that you are just grossly outnumbered. So,
Grossly outsmarted. Really, I'm just like,
yes.
I'm. Yeah, they're like laughing at
Yeah,
me.
sorry. So anyway, speaking of food and drink, I don't know if we were talking about that, but I'm going right there. This is
Mhm.
what I think this was my longest list because honestly, this is the thing I could talk about all day. And honestly, this list was pared down compared to what I wanted to talk about. So we're gonna start with the bull bites and the popovers at the Dallas House in St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin. So when you go to Polk County, Wisconsin, there's not it's rural. That's, Dresser, Wisconsin is a town of about 895 people. So there's not a lot of selection when it comes to where you do your eating and drinking. But I will say that the places that you go are good. Like the bull bites are basically this lovely little steak bites, and they put some sort of coating on them that is, I don't know, I think it's basically made of like salt, pepper, and crack, I'm pretty sure. So you just can't stop eating, and they're like melt in your mouth. And then they also the Dallas House is one of those places that still serves popovers, and they have different flavors of butter every week. And so I think the kind of butter we have is like this butter pecan butter. Oh, motherfucker, was that good? So yeah, good job. And they also make a decent, just trashy old fashioned. And but the only problem with the Dallas House is that their beer selection is terrible, terrible. Like they don't even have High Life. They feature like lots of local beers, which are terrible. So anyway, uh, Joe and I went to Meritage, which is one of my favorite restaurants in that section of the woods. It's in St. Paul, Minnesota. It's a French restaurant, which I am. French cuisine is my favorite. I love it. I love what the French do with sauces and butter, and um, you can get escargot there. So I introduced my husband to escargot, which is basically just a vehicle for garlic butter,
Mhm.
and that was amazing. Again, the old fashioned at Toby's Supper Club, and Toby's Supper Club is a treat. This is the one I was talking about in Madison, Wisconsin. First, they make an amazing Wisconsin old fashioned, and B, it's one of those places where Supper Club in Wisconsin means you get the full spread, which you get the crudité, you get the cinnamon roll, you get the hash browns with your food, and they make a hell of a steak there. So really, just love that place very much. Again, the seafood bisque and the garlic cheddar grit cakes at Lagniappe, which is my favorite. It might be my favorite restaurant in Michigan. That's a
Mm.
bold statement because Kalamazoo has some fine eateries, but there's something about the simplicity of their bisque. It's so flavorful and delicious and spicy and yummy, and the cheddar grit cakes are just special, special. The Grand Rabbit, straight out of the tap at the Black Rocks Brewery. If you're going to Marquette, don't fall into the trap of getting the Razzle Rabbit one. Get Grand Rabbits. Don't get the Razzle one. That beer is good enough. It doesn't need any raspberry flavoring. Come on. The old fashioned at Poppycock's in Traverse City. So when we went and saw Amy Tam, we started by having some appetizers and drinks at this place called Poppycock's, right there, a couple of doors down from the theater. It was great. Their old fashioned is delicious, and so was there. What did we have? We had dessert. We went right back there after
Right.
watching, and then we had dessert. It was awesome.
I can't remember because I'd had too much to drink.
Yeah, because we drank a little bit that night.
Mhm.
The Sazerac at the St. Paul Hotel. So before Joe and I went to Meritage, right down the street from Meritage, about a block is the St. Paul Hotel, and they have a beautiful, beautiful hotel bar. And the nice lady that was there makes a very good Sazerac, which is kind of the drink of choice if you go to New Orleans. But they have a good Sazerac at Lagniappe, by the way, and they have a very good one at the St. Paul Hotel in St. Paul, Minnesota. And then, of course, the lemon blueberry cupcake and the hostess cupcake that you find at the Huron Mountain Bakery in beautiful scenic Marquette, Michigan. There you go. It's all you, Anne.
All right, so I've been spending a lot of time in Kalamazoo this summer because I've been taking some bead classes. So it takes all of my will not to go to the Victorian Bakery every time and buy a box of a pastry, but I will sometimes I tell myself, well, they're doing road constructions. I should go support this local business. So I try to get like one pastry and then one thing of shortbread cookies, which I stick in my freezer for later. So Victorian Bakery, thank you so very much. We just had their date hazelnut cake. I always get desserts that have dates and figs in them because one, they're always it's always great. They're always great, and it's we don't use dates and figs enough in American pastry, and
Afraid of
so
them.
I always get it
They're
because
weird.
yeah, I'm never disappointed. It's always so interesting. So that was amazing. Had that the other day. Terry Lynn, I love Braveheart Anne. There's a merch idea.
I know, I love that. Now we're just gonna have a coffee mug or a T-shirt with Anne, you know, screaming at the rabbits. So there you go.
Exactly. The rabbit's laughing at me. All right. So
Uh-huh.
another bakery that I love in Kalamazoo is the Sarkozy Bakery and Cafe. They have amazing bread. Usually, when I go there, I get their bread. Don't get me wrong; their pastry is amazing, but they have this brewer's bread, which they take the spent grain from Bell's Brewery, and they make this really beautiful wheat bread. Oh, I love it so much! I can eat my body weight in that. They also make an excellent rye bread. So
So
there's another
good.
place. Such delicious food. Now you know my
And they make the best forking chocolate chip cookies. God, they're good.
chocolate chip cookie.
Crispy, and they got nuts in them. And I don't like
Mhm,
nutty cookies, but man, good cookies. Yeah.
mhm. Okay, Sister Pie, another bakery.
Sister pie! Sister pie!
This is in Detroit. Jenny and I were in Detroit today, so of course we had to stop at Sister Pie. We went late in the afternoon, which means there was not left. So I bought the last 7 lemon drop cookies. They're little, so it's like just a tiny cookie.
They were delicious. Those cookies
They
were
are.
good. Straight
Yeah,
good.
and then
Yeah.
Duncan got a buckwheat chocolate chip cookie. Oh gosh, so complicated and interesting. Corn dogs. I like to go to at least one fair a year so I can have a corn dog. Duncan always makes fun of me because I like all the mustard on my corn dog.
Holy
So
hell, do you ever?
I want to put mustard on it, and then I want to dip mustard. Actually, you know what? Corn dog is a vehicle for me to eat mustard. That's what it is, and I enjoy it. It's
See,
a
I'm just
crazy
the
vehicle.
opposite. I like a
Mhm.
naked corn dog. Do not interrupt the flavor of my corn dog by doing anything. No mustard, no ketchup, no barbecue sauce, no nothing. Corn dog, motherfucker. So
Corn
there you
dogs.
go. Yeah.
Chicken thighs at the Kalamazoo Beer Exchange. This is the new wing, ladies and gentlemen. The thighs, oh man, they're skin on.
They're this Korean chang chicken thigh, and they are crispy. They deep fry them, and so they're crispy. And
Mhm.
whatever sauce they put on them is amazing.
Yeah, and then it's all
Yeah,
dark
it's
meat because anybody that
mhm,
knows chicken knows that dark meat is the good because it's so flavorful. Oh, chicken
kind of
breasts are
fatty, so good.
so
Yeah,
delicious. So
yeah.
whenever Jenny's like, "Hey," after I finish a bead class, Jenny's like, "You want to go somewhere?" I'm like, "Yeah, I want to go to Kalamazoo Beer Exchange because I want a French 75 and some chicken thighs."
Yeah,
Because
it's
I'm a
so funny
lady.
because uh, the beer exchange is kind of this hidden gem because everybody's like, "Beer exchange, they just do beer." Yes,
Mm,
they do a bunch of different they have a bunch of different taps for beer if that's your thing, but they also have an excellent cocktail menu, and they have
mhm.
got their food is great.
Yeah,
It's great.
yeah. They don't have a
The
huge food menu, but everything on it is
mm-mm,
stellar.
delicious. So,
Mhm,
yeah, if you're in Kalamazoo and you want a kind of a hidden gem, it's never crowded in there, and you can almost always get a seat at the bar. There's tables,
mhm,
there's like games and stuff down in the first level, kind of the just below the ground level there.
mhm.
They have like darts and pinball and video games and
Cool.
stuff like that. And you can pool and then you can come up to the next level and enjoy that's the restaurant area and that's where the bar is. And it's just yeah,
Mhm.
shockingly awesome. Thanks, Kim
Uh,
Too Good. That was you that got me to go there for the first time. Kim Too Good, you're amazing. Okay.
Yes, yeah, Kim. Deep fried olives at the Coriander Kitchen. This is in Detroit. It's
What?
right. I know. I know. It's right on the canals. So not too far from the Detroit River. Kind of a cool, really cool area. I mean, honestly, the best part is sitting outside. But they're deep fried olives. They take a green olive and they stuff it with anchovies and chorizo, and they deep fry it.
So
Jenny,
so good.
I know. I could eat like literally I could eat all of them. Like we got a basket, I think, with 6 in them or 9 maybe. We each got 3 or each got 2. It was not enough. I could have eaten. I'm like, I need this to be like a popcorn bowl or something like that's what it
Could you
was
just serve me
so
this as I watch movies?
exactly. They were so good. And all the food there was good, but this was the most interesting thing. I'd never seen this anyplace else. Totally worth it. Coriander Kitchen in Detroit. It's a great place to sit outside, have a cocktail, watch boats go back and forth on the canal, and eat some good food. But I thought this was the most interesting thing we had. So I
I
had to give
want
a
to go
shout out
to
to them.
there.
Hmm.
That's awesome.
Indeed.
So cool.
Of course, Lin Yap, Cajun Creole Eatery. It's in a basement, which is so funny. It's like literally, I think they got this, they leased this space. They didn't do anything to it, and they hung a bunch of beads around, and
Beads.
they're like, "All right, we're spending all the rest of our money on food preparation and drinks." So they have an awesome bar, they have awesome food, and it's just a cool place to be. And I let whenever we go to Marquette, that's the for and Marquette has a surprisingly good food scene. The Upper Peninsula's food scene can be a little thin, but Marquette has a great food scene, and the best thing there is Lon Yap's out of an awesome food scene. So go
Yeah.
there. Hmm.
Yeah, and I think we were talking about it the last time we were there. It has the look of a place that used to be a sea like a sailor bar or like
Yeah,
a some
yeah.
sort of nautical themed bar,
Okay,
because it just feels
whenever we go there, Jenny, I keep expecting the song Brandy to come on the radio.
oh my God, Brandy, you're a bad girl. What a good wife you would be. But my life, my love, and my lady is the sea. I know,
Yeah.
right?
So every time we go in there, I always think of that. It's like that 1970s dark wood, It's just like I expect an SS Minnow life,
My
preserver to
God.
be at the bar. It's just like, and I just that song always plays in my head.
Well, and that's what's so
So,
funny about that. It's like you don't expect this place to be this amazing Cajun eatery. It's like,
yeah.
no, 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 it's in the wrong place. It's out of
Mhm.
context.
Nope, it's amazing. Dia de
Ooh,
los Tacos, again, a food truck in Marquette. You have to follow them a little bit on Facebook to find out where they're going to be. But Jenny and I did a very meta thing last time we were in Marquette. We got street tacos and we ate them on the street.
that's right.
Yeah,
We found a bench on the street and ate our
mhm,
street tacos in the
and
street,
ate our
just like
street
you're
tacos.
supposed to.
Exactly.
Like what
So
are we?
I know it was
Yeah,
amazing,
yeah.
delicious.
They're kind of a little bit highbrow as far as street tacos go, but their sauces are outstanding. Their
Hmm.
meat combinations, or they actually have a vegetarian
Hmm.
versions as well. But they're really yummy, and they have a big ass blue truck. And it depends
Hmm.
on sometimes they're at. I know they have pretty like permanent spots at Black Rock Brewery, at Ordock Brewery, at the little blue something something liquor store. Just to
Yeah,
one of
yeah.
the gas stations hosts them.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's just go to their webpage.
Yeah,
I
go to
think
their
they have a
Facebook
Facebook
page
page, and
and
you can find out where they are. It's super easy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Donkers also in Marquette. Great place to get breakfast. Not always the coffee is. I'm not a big coffee drinker unless it has chocolate and whipped cream on it. But Jenny says the coffee is drinkable, but their breakfasts are awesome. You get a breakfast salad. I love a breakfast salad. So it's just yeah, they have
Well, and
great
it's
omelets and the portions are like sometimes you go to a place for breakfast and they give you this platter of greasy food. That's not Donkers. Everything is well proportioned and delicious. Great place for
and
breakfast.
the funny thing is you wouldn't know it really because Donkers is an ice cream shop and a candy store. But
Mhm,
on the second level, they have this little restaurant that serves an amazing breakfast. Yeah.
mhm.
And it's the portion size are actually, human appropriate. So
Mhm.
yay, not used to that
Yeah,
as
no, it's
Americans.
whitefish and fries. If you are from Michigan, then you know about having fried whitefish and fries. And if you go up to the Upper Peninsula after you finish your pierogies, which I do not pierogies, pasties, which I do not
Pasties.
understand. Ugh.
Pasties are
Um,
nothing more than like a Finnish or a Scandinavian calzone. Again,
exactly.
pointless.
Exactly. But the fried whitefish and fries. Ooh, we stopped at a food truck that had this, and then we went and watched. And then we just sat on the on Lake Superior and watched the water and ate our whitefish and had our fries, and it was amazing. It was delicious.
Yeah.
I was like, even my husband, who's not a big fish eater, will usually eat fried whitefish because it's a very mild fish. It's delicious. So there
Throw a
you
little
go.
salt, a little vinegar on that, and
Mhm.
it's delicious.
Yeah. Totoro Sushi, that's here in Ann Arbor. Our friend Maggie Caselli, she went to U of M, and Duncan and I were like, "Where should we go?" Because she loves sushi. I'm like, "Where should we go?" And she said, "Totoro's Sushi." Duncan and I, when we often go to see a movie in a theater, we'll go to either the Michigan or the State downtown. We'll go to Totoro's and have sushi. My friend Amy and I, when we went to the Detroit Observatory. We had sushi there. It's all college kids. So if you are Gen X, you will be the oldest person there. And it's just all college kids eating all that sushi. So it's so funny because when
It's
we were in
awesome.
college, we were eating chili dogs.
Yeah, I was gonna say sushi was not on my radar. I didn't
Mm-mm.
eat sushi for the first time till I was in my 30s. That was that dude Luke I was dating that
Right.
the guy that was a jerk. But again, he might have been a jerk, but he was also really good at he introduced me to sushi and Moroccan food and Kirsty McCall. So
There you go. There you go.
he had his place in my life in that respect.
He served a
So
purpose. Yeah. So
yes.
anyway, La Familia Cafe. This is a place in Kalamazoo. It does breakfast and lunch, and I have to admit that when I go there, I get their beans and rice because their beans and rice are fucking amazing.
So
If you can go to
good.
a Mexican restaurant and everything there is good, I'm just like, it's not like, oh, that's not the only good thing. No, everything there is good. But man, all I want to do there is eat their beans and rice. Oh, and I get tortilla chips so I can scoop the beans and rice with tortilla chips. Oh my God. And the fact that they're only open until 2 or 3, I'm like, no, be open all the time.
Yeah, it's one of those places where they could literally it's like we're open twice a week from 11 to 11:15. You're welcome. You know, you're like, "Okay, I'll
Exactly.
be there."
Exactly. So it's funny because sometimes, like, I'll go to Kalamazoo and Jenny will still be at work or whatever. And I was like, I'm treating myself to beans and rice. Yeah.
Easy
So
girl.
I
Calm
know
down.
that's how good their Mexican food is, that you can just eat the beans and rice and be so freaking happy. And it's not like it's special, it's not like they're like, oh, it's got this special. No, it's literally a plate of beans and rice. And it's so good. Anyway, I
There you go. La
digress.
Familia. Yeah, and they do. It's a great little spot.
Mhm.
So,
Summer tomatoes, of course. I When people ask me what I grow, and they're always like, "Oh, you grow so much," I'm like, "No, I grow things that are easy to grow. I grow beans, I grow squash, I grow zucchini, I grow garlic. Those things are easy to grow. The only hard thing, it's not hard, finicky, persnickety, um, delicate thing I grow are tomatoes. Michigan is not a great place to grow tomatoes. They are, but man, do I love eating my own summer tomatoes. So there you go. Summer tomatoes. I love that in the summer.
tomatoes.
Yeah. And
Cool.
then, of course, when I grow summer tomatoes, I make my own gazpacho. And it's not like I have like a super secret recipe. It's very straightforward. But ooh, for like 3 weeks, all I do is eat gazpacho and with crackers. Oh, God. And you can only do it in the summer. So I love that. So, and I'm not a
Okay.
big cook, Jenny. And anybody that knows me knows that I love to eat, but it's not, cooking is not my favorite thing. I, I'd rather make reservations than dinner. So, but if I, the fact that I make my own gazpacho because, and the thing is, like a lot of places get gazpacho wrong. They'll make it, they put too much vinegar in it, and then they let it sit around too long, and it becomes salsa. Or they make
Yeah.
it in a puree. What am I, a baby? Uh, so I make really chunky gazpacho that's super flavorful but not spicy because I'm not going to eat a bowl of salsa. So I like it really chunky and tomatoey and
You make
garlicky.
adult gazpacho.
I make grown up ass gazpacho and not
Good
baby
job.
food, not so you got to be. So I like some restaurant, tons of restaurants have it in the summer and they always fuck it up. So you got to make your own. If you want good
Sorry.
gazpacho, you got to make. My friend Annette May makes an amazing green gazpacho with tomatillos. Oh, it's so good. Oh, I could
Yummy.
eat my body weight in
Sounds
that.
so good. Okay.
So there
Excellent.
you go.
Cool other stuff that we did this summer. What you're looking at here is a picture. I went golfing with the SHS crew, the Sturgis High School crew. I've got a little golfing group. So it's Katrina, Nicole. This year it was me, Katrina, Nicole, Jen, and we were golfing at one point, and I think it was Katrina that hit this shot. She topped it and basically drove her golf ball into the ground, inches in front of her tee, which was hilarious.
I would do that too.
So it
Only
was like
part
we
of my
literally were like, where'd it go? Where's the shot? And then Katrina looks down, she's like, oh, it's right here. And we're like, what the fuck?
only part of my golf stick would also be sticking out of the dirt.
Yes. So yeah. So for the first thing that was cool this summer is I got to spend some time with my husband this summer. He's been in northwestern Wisconsin since April 15th. He left April 15th to go there. And so I got to go and see him a couple of times this summer and he's coming here in a couple of weeks, which is nice. So I am looking forward to seeing him and just having this little stint in northern Wisconsin come to an end. It's been great as far as, income and all that. It's been great having a job and it's been great that he's been able to help out at Trollhagen, but I have enjoyed seeing him and I am enjoying seeing him soon. Again, golfing poorly with the Sturgis High School crew. That's been a lot of fun. The Franconia Sculpture Park, which is in Franconia, Wisconsin, or Minnesota, and it's this weird, random sculpture park that's kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and it's got some cool shit, and it's great because they're expanding it and they're making it bigger, and they have a brand new visitor center that they just put in. They literally just dropped a house in the middle of this place, and now it's the visitor center. So huzzah! The weird as hell dinosaur gardens in Osanek, Michigan. That's the best way I can describe it. It's just fucking weird and it's cool and it's a labor of love. And I was really glad that we ended up going. It was way out of our way and added, a couple hours or more to our trip. But it was really worthwhile and I'm super glad that we got to go there. So who knew that Jesus and dinosaurs were so compatible? I did not know
Exactly.
that. Now I know.
You see,
So there
Jenny, and
you
here
go.
again, closer I am to find. You got to do stupid things.
You got to do stupid things. No construction on the Mackinac Bridge. We went over the Mackinac Bridge and there was no construction. It was amazing.
It was amazing. I was like, I told
I
Jenny, I'm
haven't
like, is it broken? Is it just they just decided to stop fixing it?
just give up. I don't know. I've never seen that. I've never gone
Mm.
across because we started the first time I went over the Mackinac Bridge. I don't know. I don't even know. Wasn't when I first went over that bridge.
2006?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the first time I've ever just driven across. It was like, what the hell just happened? So that was amazing. Pine Stump Junction. So when you're looking for places to Uperlite hunt, and Eric Rintamaki, who is the Uperlite dude, that's where he meets when he has his tour. He has people meet there when they take one of his tours, and then they can have dinner at the Pine Stump Junction restaurant. And honestly, I got to tell you, I was really impressed with that
Hmm.
particular restaurant. I think we made fun of it a little bit when
Hmm.
we got started, and I feel bad for making fun of it now because it's really a great place.
It was a great
And the
place.
food was good, the service was good, the
Hmm.
beer was ice cold,
Hmm.
and it was just a really I'm like, I can see why people like this place because it really
Yeah.
was the woman that waited on us just had her shit together. I mean, it was
Hmm.
just really great. So I would
Hmm.
if you're in that area, go north of Newberry, go up to Pine Stump Junction and
Hmm.
go up there and enjoy that restaurant up there because it rocks.
Bring
Um,
cash.
bring cash. Early morning Uperlite hunting. So we did some Uperlite hunting. We did some nighttime hunting. We did some hunting right after sunset. But I got to tell you, I wake up in the morning and I think about that early morning Uperlite hunting. That was spiritual for me. That became this weird meditation and this really spiritual experience. And I'm not a spiritual person, but I loved it. I loved being on that beach as the sun was coming up and being on that beach when it started to get light and it was really it was amazing. If you're gonna Uper hunt, get your ass up out of bed, get on that beach at 2 o'clock in the morning and hunt for 2 or 3 hours and or get your ass out there at you know, 4 o'clock in the morning and enjoy watching the sun come up. And it's just, that was my favorite thing. If I'm going to Uperlite hunt again, and I'm going to, that's what I'm going to do because scout it ahead of time so you make sure you know where you're going. Make sure you put out your glow sticks and that you've got
Hmm.
your lantern and everything you need and go out in the middle of the night hunt and, you know, go so that you can be out on that beach at sunrise because it's really amazing. So, um, oh, I also forgot to add to this list. I got to see the Northern Lights when we were in Dresser, Wisconsin, and they were fucking great. So that was cool. The Mattawan Road and Trail 5K, Abby Dunning, great job helping to put that together. That was a really, I'm going to do that every year now because it's a great course.
Me
They
too.
do a
Where's my
great
shirt?
job putting it together. Nicely done.
Hmm.
So there you go. 6 yards of river rock, which is what's in my front yard right now. Yay! Thanks, Oscar, for your help. And lavender. I put lavender in my yard this year, and it looks nice, and I love it.
Oh no, wait.
Mhm.
Yeah, the lavender was awesome. No,
Yeah.
I put lavender in your yard
Oh,
this
that's
year.
right. You and put lavender in my yard. I bought the lavender, and then I was off doing something. I can't remember what the fuck I was doing, but then Ann planted my lavender. Good job, Ann. Thanks for planting my lavender.
No problem.
Yeah,
I planted your lavender. Yeah, good job.
yeah. Yeah, I'm not good at yard stuff. Ann's better at that. So Ann took mercy on me and put
Yeah.
lavender in. So, and then, of course, the newly restored Michigan Central Station, which is just damn, man. That's all I can say. Like I said, we're going to talk more extensively about it, give you
Mhm.
the history and all that good stuff here in a few weeks. But man, all I have to say is if you can get your ass there in Detroit and go see this,
Mhm.
you will feel differently about Detroit after you spend time at
Mhm.
this place.
Yeah.
And props to the Ford Motor Company because of all of the car joints in the city of Detroit. It should have been Ford that picked up the mantle and restored this place, and they did it. And
Mhm.
I think that's a big deal for me. And the fact that they dropped damn near $1 billion to do it,
Mhm.
it tells you how invested they are in the city of Detroit, and I think others should follow suit in helping to restore this city that is great. It is a great city, and it's trying to be great again. There you go. All right. I got a new shower. That's my other cool stuff. I know,
Mhm.
right? It's your turn, Ann.
Okay, yay. So first things first. Dyslexia in Adult podcast. I have been listening. It's nice because the podcasts are only anywhere from 6 to like 15 minutes. So I usually listen to it when I'm stretching. Uh, um, Dyslexia is usually talked about with kids, and this is focusing specifically on adults. So
That's
it's been
cool.
really good for me. My garden, of course, that's what I want to do in the summer. Is I want to spend time in my garden, and I got to do that a lot this year. So I really appreciated that. But chickens, I got 5 new hens. I got 1 rooster. The rooster has gone to his reward in heaven because he was getting super aggressive. So I'm
Did
sorry,
Janet take care of that chicken?
Darren. Duncan
Did or
did.
did you do it? Duncan did.
Duncan did it. Yeah,
How
Duncan did
how
it.
did how did he do it?
22.
Okay.
All right. So my chickens, I love my chickens. Hey, I quit my job. People are like, oh, you
And
retired. I'm like,
brothers.
no, I'm unemployed. So I'll have to get
Wait,
another one.
okay, wait. What's the difference between unemployed and retired? I don't get that.
Yeah,
Is it the
exactly.
same
Well,
thing? Okay.
well, if you're retired, supposedly money is coming in from someplace else. When you quit your job, money is not coming in from someplace else. So yeah,
Fair
so I'll have to
enough.
get another
Okay.
one. I'll keep everybody updated, but I quit my job. The Normal Park neighborhood yard sales this year in June. Oh,
Nice.
that's always fun. It's my Christmas. I love that. I went with my friend Jeannie and Jenny and Duncan. We had a great time.
You know, my
Found some
favorite part
cool
about that is 9 a.m. hot dogs. That's my
9
favorite
a.m. hot
part.
dogs.
9 a.m.
Exactly.
hot dogs. That's right.
Exactly.
So
Mhm.
love that.
All right. Amy, Annette, Liz, Kylie, Kim, Dawn, Julie, Jeannie, Jackie, Jill, Simone, Janice, Kylene, Barb, Pat, Annie, and Chip. They're all
Chip.
cool. These are
Yep.
all my cool friends. So,
I'm
and I
gonna I'm
actually
gonna
got
throw
all of them.
I'm gonna make you throw Kim on there too.
I did. Kim's up there in between Kylie and Dawn.
I see her. There she is. There she is.
Uh-huh,
Cool. There we
uh-huh.
go. Yep. Because you know
Yep.
we all got to go see um
Twister.
Twisters together. Yeah. So Kim
Yeah.
got to experience watching a movie with us. So
Oh, we also went to Dabney's After Dark together. That was a
oh my
blast.
God, that's right. We
Uh-huh.
danced. We danced.
Yep.
That's
We
right. I got to
danced.
bust out my Aunt Patty School of Dance moves. Awesome.
Exactly for all the Gen Zs and millennials.
Oh yeah, we put on a show.
We did 5K with friends. I've done 3 5Ks this year so far at walking. Don't think I was running them, but yeah, with friends. And I love to do that with people. Most of the books I read and or listened to were cool stuff this year. I've talked about a number of them. So that was fun. My sister-in-law and friend Liz, her pool, pool, TV, pizza. Mm.
9-year-old living your 9-year-old best self. Awesome.
Best self. Of course, Uperlight's going Uperlight hunting with Jenny. Yeah, I would go in the morning as well. I'm a morning person. So getting up early and being out there early was a lot easier for me than staying up late and then trying to go because I'm like, yeah. But anyway, it was really
Well, and
cool.
and again, there was nobody out there. We got out there about God, we probably a little bit before 4 o'clock in the morning when
Mhm.
we were hunting, and there was nobody out there. It
There
was
was nobody.
fucking great. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
yeah,
great.
it was great. Yeah.
So, oh my gosh. So I bought a Polaroid high print printer, which you use to print photos off your phone. And they're small, but they're stickers too. Oh man, I've already done it twice. And I love it. It's my new favorite thing. So I just got it a few days ago. I tried it out yesterday. The picture that Jenny you took today of Duncan and I in front of the old train station. I printed that up. It's on a sticker. So I do a lot of journaling. I have a regular journal and a travel journal. So this is perfect. I don't have to wait to like send pictures to any place. Now I can just print them up right there and boom, they're already a sticker.
I love the
It is
fact
my
that you
new
can
favorite
sticker
thing.
it.
Yeah.
Totes.
I mean, and I've had a
Totes.
Polaroid camera for almost 20 years, and this is going to replace my Polaroid camera now. So
What?
I know.
That's impressive. That's like that's a
Well,
big deal.
Well, the Polaroid cameras, the film isn't as good as it used to be. It's really
It is
fuzzy
not.
and grainy now. And so I wasn't using it very much because the pictures were so disappointing. But this Polaroid high print has gorgeous pictures. So yay. And it's a
That's
sticker. Can't
awesome.
say that enough.
That's cool.
Mhm.
Well, we were going to talk about the not so cool stuff, but really we don't have time. We're already in an hour 9 right now. So I'm just going to jump ahead and just throw this out here that for me, the least cool thing was the dumb chick from the Olympics who did the breakdancing thing. The only good thing that came out of that was that the memes were amazing. This is one from Jurassic World, something where you have Chris Pratt taming the velociraptors, and she's a velociraptor. I thought that was the one that made me laugh the hardest. So
Uh-huh. Yeah, exactly. Movies
yeah,
you don't need to see for me, Long Legs and Maxine. Don't see them in the theaters. In fact, you really don't even have to see them. You can if you want to. It seems other movies have done it better for both of those. Detroit Book Festival was a bummer because I was really looking forward to that. And of course, Jenny and I both have on this on our list. Our parents have COVID right now, so
yeah.
that's
Ann's
not
parents have
cool.
COVID, and my parents have COVID as well because we have the same
My
parents.
parents.
Yeah, so yeah, our older high risk parents both have COVID right now. They're both COVID virgins, so not
Mhm.
great.
Not
Not a
great.
great week for the
No.
brothers is. So yeah,
Yeah.
in that respect.
Mhm.
But anyway, we won't dwell on the not so cool stuff because there was so much other fucking cool stuff as we have obviously talked about because we filled 70 minutes worth of stuff. So anyway, well done, you guys. You hung with us for that 70 minutes. Well, some of you did. Some of you were like, I'm out of here after 30.
Yeah.
But thanks for joining us at all. So we appreciate that.
Mhm.
Um, so anyway, thanks for joining us, the brothers sisters. And remember, we want to hear from you. Answer our poll questions. Give us your questions, concerns, comments, and
Confessions.
confessions.
Mhm.
That's right. We want to hear your confessions. Again, you guys remember you can join us for free on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and of course, Amazon Music. Please, you guys put the word out. We are trying to build a following slowly but surely, steadily, and all that. We'll get there one step at a time. And please, you guys join us next week. We have Shannon Dennison of Dennison Financial that will be joining us next week. She's going to be talking about financial planning. She's going to be talking, and this is the best part. She's going to basically give us some tips, you guys, on the top 3 things that you should know if you're Gen Z, Gen X, Gen Y. If you're older, she's going to kind of talk us through what you should be doing, regardless of where you are in your life right now. She's the best. She's my financial advisor. She's my parents' financial advisor. So we love her. So in the meantime, you guys, I am Janice Brothers. Oh, wait, second. Hang on. I got to turn on I got to
Music.
turn on the music.
There we go.
Wait for it. Wait for it. There it is. Yep, you guys. In the meantime, thanks for joining this week. I am Janice Brothers, and with me is my sister.
And brothers.
That's right. That is correct. And we want you to get out there and we want you to do something smart, do something dumb, do something fun, and we are out of here.